Right, Ebusiam, I mean, I was saying, I'm famra Ashanti Media, so other room like video share more before. Na onunsu enye bi enhwe no hu nsɛm a ɛkɔso ɛwɔ yɛman Ghana mu. Na ɛnɛyi nsɛm a ɛkɔso ɛwɔ kɔmfo anɔkye ayaresabea no ano ayɛ de yie papaapa. Me ne wo ɛka sɛ ade a doctors still na no ɔmo gusu a ɔmo ne aban no ɛtwe sɛ nya ade a ɔmo bɛyɛ adwuma sɛ ɔmo reinstate CEO ama na ama yɛ n'adwuma a nya ade ɔmo nso so no ɛkɔ hospital ɔkɔyɛ adwuma a ɛbɛyɛ yie. Na Honorable Nana Ayu Efiye a ranking member on Parliamentary Select Committee on Health ɛde n'ano ato saa nsɛm a ɛkɔ so mu sɛ nsɛm a ɛkɔ so no ɛyɛ ade a ntwa yie koraa nhyehyɛeɛ a ɛsɛ sɛ aban no de gu akwan mu na ɔmo tumi make sure sɛ doctors yi bɛkɔ back na ɔmo akɔyɛ adwuma nyinaa wabiebie so a ɛnyɛ asɛm ketewa mepɛ sɛ yɛbɛgye brɛ na yɛakɔtie nkyerɛmu a ɔno nso ɛde aba na deɛ minority no nso so no ɔmo appeal a ɔmo ɛde ma doctors nso ɔmo srɛ ɔmo a dabraka wei deɛ nka ɔmo mfa ɔmo ani nto wɔn na ɔmo nkɔ back na ɔmo nkɔyɛ adwuma no nyinaa no yɛgye brɛ na yɛnkɔtie nsɛm no ebi.
Kache, you are a medical doctor da. At what point say we a medical doctor and as a public medical doctor and no be ebe kosu ama wa call for wa go for on strike?
Okay, me that's a me tie for. Me tie mas kone for just for ni na. Ya friend say niam a obe hia na odi aye wa adwuma. Aya ade a ekromu ha sei etode bia adwumakuo bebre so mo nsanka omo de call strike in the healthcare sector no there itimi call strike a wo mu ama aketua krampo makra itimi de call strike entia no so wo ho a case in hand ye wo ho yi hospital no ewo impadodo a wo say the fan crop for impadodo no so no mo de ye adwuma ebu afaso a omo de ebi kra egu form ena omo se nia na de yenya be bant na wo form instead de ene ye twentwen so kakra enti pese o kira aban se aban ye afari hospital wo ho ye pese wo wie se na be ya ye ntimi mfa ni ba omo timi ko ho aban ye twenwa adwen so aba so se ye ntimi nya ekwan bebi ma omo nda se wi hospital wo ho eno so e wo se wo wie abanye se yentimi nya bebi ma omo nda agena one hospitals no so wo ho e wo se wo wie ti se kokobin die no ne trade no ma wie mpo eno so mummi ma eno so anya adwuma yesa na konfa no chifo omo kombe ha kakra enti de omo ye no omo ye na nka omo de ahwese omo ededa ward no mbetimi yi bi efi ho a na omo ewe emergency no mdo makogu ward na afi omo stay bi ha to ho no nti de omo ye ne de na eye ne kwan so ano no I mean obodi beka eye rational behavior de omo ye ne kwan so ano no enti migidi se se minister no dwin say bi a president no ka say mema obiya mpame patient a eno de eye more of the politics of it. But in reality, no, the patient, no, empana ye mana moda form na se space ni hobby ma. You need baby on bet me ada. And na nipa nkwa no so na yeje. Eno nti megidi se de omo ye ne de eye ne kwan so ano no. Ye de omo ye ne kwan so. Na momu no say ye be suspend CEO no say bia de owo ye nti ye de wo ekosi nche na de megidi se na ehia amegidi se hono na ehia but baby akodu no so no minia ye ka se ye ma strike no so ato aso so a ye Ghana for na ebehwe wo nkwa enti minority ye position ni se a doctors no mudika de ma ye bia na ye na nso so se si a baby aye du no se ye suspension quarantine ye be ma strike no ama Ghana for abehwe wo nkwa de ene madaroma monko ye adwuma na de wo mu no moma ye nkama mu ye ni na hu se de mo ye no eye enti yesre mo akodu Ghana for so omo ni ho aye ni ho enti ade tre ade na ye minority de to omanim se yesre omo bebre se omadaroma omo nko adwuma mu no monko ye adwuma ma ye na ye nso so Yankoma Sema.
But what about if they go nebia adiano or they kwakwa juma it is not there? Still a nipa or kwa juma because for example ebia mehia Caesar and I say mehia cotton to work na ebia media work on a certain patient but cotton new honoma do I still have to go to work?
No, normally no. Yejai IGF, the internal generated fund no. Yejama CEOs no. Sika omo no omo edishim aban nje ba kokra mpo ento ho. They have 100% retention. And it's a cotton wool ni ho, spirit ni ho. And ya was say you busa CEO no senti abasa. I know the anya aban. Nemo no impa ni ho. Thermometer ni ho. ICU equipment ni ho. And no impebebre no. Apart from say hospital na beto bi no. Aban o ya famu hadiye. Aban BA hospital na they be auto equipment de ma homo emo mutimi de yedwuma etimi meji di se ho no so emri bi na hoso na Ghana population na iswa but see an Ghana population na be ye bebre enti nipadom na eba ho no omuntumi eno na ye problem no eno na hia se wo se on the immediate no anka omo patent bi wo konfanoche na omo de best utum now almost setting up immediate equipment. So I'm to me on my A&E. And the doctor behind said they make a doable, quite easy. Now, no, na ebia it me funny probably year 50, 60 year. And we are okay. That is the short term. Now in the medium to long term, no. Now ajena one yama hospital ekrobia will be no. Now and we could be intented because to finish all the hospitals, no. And about 6 new regional hospitals, and 2 new psychiatry hospitals, and a renovation of the Accra Psychiatry Hospital. No, it's only about 1.5 billion. That is about 17 billion Ghana cedis. But about where the almost 70 billion, 70 billion, oh, and I say hospital no near priority. It's a hospital your priority ma buy no dia. And yet they have all it takes and the resources to complete the Ajanawawa hospitals. Again, NDC for no, omo flagship projects my NMS no, ye buy and ye be we formina, ye we kumewu, abetifidie, omo start into hono, sikano, enro so but garu, ye the kosha Ajanawawa Salaga ewo and tough bungalows near war. Attack hospital and also you complete here again okay UGMC second phase no ye pesika 270 million or so at the complete here enti ade no yede I mean say yede swawa na yede jawa na yede aswawo so yede agena wan na eja wo mo and if they can raise 70 billion at the aye ekwan then they can raise 17 billion only to complete all the hospitals and the regional hospitals in the country. And the commitment is not there. And that is why some problems with air coso and our hospitals be. And then we can say, oh, regional hospitals be hey, a man for the form a higher man. And to say, ye to me, I'm sure I know one no. And also a beer no funny paper or ha. A beer 200. Ebi wa emergency centers. Ebi sanso ebet me ama staff bungalows. Ni now staff bungalows. Na site na one no say oya wo de hwe nipa. Wo sanso so apart from say wo gi akra no. Wo sanso so e de create employment. E de amankwala na tifi e pay adwuma no. Na say wo so wo nya. Na ne abro na NDC for ADN. That is where we are.
Okay, Honorable, because of your time and it's you want to leave, so we still have Honorable Ben Abdullah Banda is a constitutional lawyer with us, and Honorable Joseph Apia Boatin is a chairman of Parliamentary Select Committee on Labour, Employment and Pension, also with us. Honorable, my menu say before you leave, Katre, one more time, you were talking about the hospitals, what really happened to the Sewa Regional Hospital and the Afari Military Hospital? Because mobile it was stage B. People thought say, okay, Mabana, that place is also your stronghold and could be able to be. What really happened? aban na ntimi ami ansa na moko.
Exactly. Sevilla Hospital was commissioned by the president. What is left is a coin and a biome electricity ECG. And then say boreholes be also mutuma omo. But we are committed and kabusu means the sanka omo wie. That is the issue. Now a ferry hospital so no power ECG. But Oko Otia almost in new regional hospital. Oko Sefi almost in new regional hospital. Oko Daman almost in new regional hospital. So the commitment is new no. Yeah, the Sikaki Tuebi Edi Sevilla. Sevilla is almost about 750 million. Almost 700 million has been paid. I got 50 million. So if you want to pay and you are committed, that will be to me. But there's no commitment. Again, Oba Afari Hospital is almost 2.2 billion. 2 billion has been sent. It's almost there with about 200 million. Again, if you are committed, you can complete it. But I think that there's no commitment. However, okay, say, omo promises say omo ba omo be and we are looking up to say ankomodi osebe yo. You know, and I don't think say, of course, who the minion number phone so chairman. I don't think that we are talking about the issue of taking them to fair wages or labor commission and the rest of them. Master, maybe I do know that you have to appeal to the people because again, a man for strike, and we have seen times almost calling of strikes just by the way you appealing to them. And the end sometimes you know so you say and your share say we the imrani keke no but we must give a human face to the law as well. And I'm sure Abdullah will also side with me. So the law is there, but there must be some human face. Like Abraham Lincoln kind or say yes, not everything legally right is morally right. And that's why sometimes a judge will say temper justice with mercy. It's a case of morality. It is the omo kano. It can. Say over hospital a fa nipa beye eduasa nine. Na se sia no mutimi fa eduasia nson. Na omo say ye tumu kakra aye hu ya fa bia kan now say ye pamu nipa dia. I know there is a moral issue, you know, and it's not fair.
Baba Honorable, so on me be adwene say who close to you have your heads. There are some people that they should have jojo with them, sat down with them so that obetibia catch up say this is what we really want to do rather than say odo pebe kwakoye sade. I think
I know the son me can joy just about 30 minutes ago. Me say a case of excuse me to say dog bite dog. Where there's a NDC president, Ghana president Oma appointment to your friend and say CEO no so sebi omo hu say NDC ni na ono akoka wa bontin say monji nipa na wo se there be hanmo ayema efom kro ehwa ayema na menje die before anka obeye no eye ne papa musu anka obetimi speak clearance was to know the implications of what their actions will be. They know the Majama internal way and Majama chairman na can say anyway NDC asem.
Honorable, we friend say employment and labor and the law. Elitina, you hear honorable say and all be. So we thank you very much for today, sir.
Thank you too. Thank you so much. All
right, Honorable Nana Ayuafriye is a ranking member at the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health, and I'm going to send the commander on the line. I have Honorable Joseph Apia Boateng, Chairman, Parliamentary Select Committee on Labor, Employment and Pensions, but we are focusing on the labor today. Honorable, thank you very much for joining us on the program, The Digest. We are live on Kesben TV, DSTV channel 364 and Go TV channel 121. Now, it's a labor law now. That's a 2003 Act 6651. The labor law no okay the section 159 and it's section 170 and my a whole crime my admit to be cost strike. Especially already section 168 now it talks about the sympathy strike in Ebina confanoche for no INCCR. But the same law no, gives us a legal process one has to go through before you can go on strike by way of engaging the Labor Commission and other appropriate quarters before you can go on strike. Now, yet one who is a confanoche doctors let's say yeah cost strike precope abra or man go through that legal process. Now tell us, you as the committee, what the labor committee or parliament, you know, in this case, now, how do we term this? I mean, strike in Omokoye, despite that we need them, our hospitals, but how do we term them? Do we have to describe it as illegal or criminal or what? And if there's a sanction, do we have anything like a sanction that we have to give to them? Yeah, Honorable, please, unmute your set for me. MC, want me to set, no? Okay, it's clear now. It's clear now. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. First of all, I will say good afternoon to your listeners and your viewers as well. And like you mentioned, my name is Joseph Apia-Boateng, MP for Ahantan South, and a chairman for Select Committee of Employment, Labor Relations and Pensions. Yes, I wasn't in the country when the strike took place, but the little that I know or what I've heard about the strike was, I would describe it as illegal strike. You just mentioned about, are we doing English or Chi? Or no, we are mixing?
Please.
Okay, fine. Strike no, na me ni Ghana, and a strike no, eba so, na me buy my bet timu kakra, and also program is metie kakra. Na me die as a chairman of the committee no make say strike no illegal because I will share the Labor Act now Act 2003 Act 651 now a kwan bebre say ye faso and sana yakọ strike but so one fa sa akwan so a na ama o strike no abeye illegal. Nti say over mama kwan ma kan be 1 minute bi actual okay section 168 no illegal strike or lockout. Say o share subsection 159 and 160 now. Was it a strike or lockout is legal if it is in sympathy with or in support of a strike action taken by another worker or group of workers against their employer or on account of an industrial dispute with the employer.
Yeah.
And you are quoting me, sir. And I will two no, or say a person who declare or instigates or incites others to take part in a strike or lockout or act in furtherance of a strike or lockout which is illegal under section 1 is liable for any damage, loss or injury suffered by any other person as a result of the illegal strike or lockout. Into train so or can say the form of strike or lockout in sympathy with another body or organization shall be in a form agreed upon with the management of the sympathizers and shall not disrupt the operational activities of the enterprise whose workers are sympathizers. Without prejudice to subsection 2, a worker who takes part in an illegal strike may have his or her service terminated by the employer without notice for breach of his or her contract of employment or any fortified his or her remuneration or respect of the period during which he or she engaged in the illegal strike. Na Ghana yasoso anima bebre so se yamra no akwan bi so no na akekere yangasa akwan bi so no na I say ama obia freedom. When you doctor and now your health worker ukita manfo nkwa ukita wabusianfo nkwa ukita manfo busianfo nkwa e na ukita omanyi na akoma eda wonsem.
Yeah.
And you say, obey embark on a striker. Strike no as a okay, who sympathize with who colleague be and answer who boss be a yes on for the human to and answer ya suspend and answer terminating an appointment. And one thing said the you will be who are nipa new innocent person on your bonibia on your share because what that when inji quiet do adam for be and now nipa dia person nipa and answer and go phone kwa hunye and answer go phone kwa which is very wrong. You know, say ofo say be obonju be this one. I don't think am unions be brave. National Labour Commission for so sir avenue ni na sizikra na obetnya court papa say obinti obi so mfa home wu de em say wrong and na constitution angasa na say wo hwe ye Labour Act na employment ya say ye be review Labour Act ni bebre because ye major review say aban na de shemu say we are health worker, we are teacher, any other idea, and Sasa will cause strike, and found the BCB and Sasa will cause strike. So we embark on a strike are illegal, so we pay a static clearing. 168, 160. I can say my cause strike. Now, so we embark on a striker. Now say illegal. Waketia plan is a waketia, and just say waketia mouth. And now says will be found equal, and now be found to bra, and now be a two be or strike now. Why you one? Say your chuaso. In the association, so they might be brave, so and I'm a airposa,
Honorable, Debia Cassia Sosa and nobody be brave. Debia say na eba, oh, Honoma na organization be an institution be, oh, your cost strike, obey investigating na a illegal strike. That Omani Labour Commissioner and Tenase, they said the act, estate say, oh, person strike here. This is the legal procedure you have to go through. I feel Bohane say, yeah, I buy no marco Jojo, the no marco continue, no marco Meduma, young for 50 will be a salary, young Kabibia and Chio be an cost. Now encouraging others to also to do that. So, how come that I ain't bitey enough? I didn't know. Young Timmy share say you'll be called illegal striker, you forfeit almost salary. Because in this country, I don't think say a TSC, a BSC crown, I can't remember.
All the successive governments, both NDC, MPP, across the political spectrum, no. Now, when it comes to labor laws, will be a failure. Because Nipana embark on illegal strike now. Labour Commission taking steps say ebi odi Nipana beko odi omo beko court and say odi say group ni beko court. Na bayan fachi na wako oni omako transe. Na ni omo di mani na no. Na wako ya mama na say odi amomo. Enti obi a sorry a na o embark ewo illegal strike so. But strike no more you use strike na say yastic and I say you use strike no as a weapon say e betimi aka aban she and I say best take aban between hard and rock but say it me a reforms e your labor law the labor act no laws and labor act no and no be boy e ma obi anya ni da o say so we teacher ni a found situation dia won't be in strike we health worker and found say the situation dia won't be in strike ano na bekasa Labour Commission union no na betimi akasa na bibia timi atona kwam say anhwe ni ya ebe sa na fe Agye gunsem na kwesa mining perform again ye mesa kan say ohwe National Labour Commissioner niema ese de mom omo budget executive bi ya na perizi omo budget last year November omo budget ye kiti sometimes no as a song mangasa edi obiska kwa photocopies amanfo nsema mde abrom sometime no some di obiska to nsu edi serve obo omde omasama abrom omo budget na some aban e ma na ni cost no increase because any government bia wa ma wani anko Labour Commission hu bia no and as a National Labour Commission hu bia that means say you are sitting in a time bomb because labor for no and a can in some boom Labour Commission can in some boom baby about two or 3 years. But I find went to resource enough. A moment here, your Maduma, you better so any. And I find soon guys say, your National Labour Commission, no, sorry, attend the na wako, wako an mediator. I don't tripartite. union for no labor commission any aban ko for be pound no and na be kan bom no matimi aye sanima we but aban de bia no afa achi no akotua no afa achi no akotua obi kwa wa say na allowances bi nso allowances na nso no waketua ba all right allowances ninti no what pen and paper to say won kira de school for nso fa meanwhile so no be continue exams inti no yanda sanga esi nyina ye kan bom ni jai partisan politics ye MPP to nchen ye NDC to nchen ne ye bi he say Ghana for o man ba ko pemma na ye trans na ye labor reforms no ye no for kra because yes sir you be happen o ye o wa much for say omako strike and until say the sub ifun ye ko no area na say ye ko ho na ye ko toto ye mfa mu ye fa enti no ade o wa say ye nyina no partisan politics obia mfa ne particular anto nchen na ye nyina ye mfa Ghana anto yakoma so say Ghana so che ni pa nyina ye de ye ba ko MPP beba but Ghana de betra hoda anu nti no as I see na ye hwe ne tutu enema yi.
All right. Thank you very much. Honorable Jasmine, don't go yet. Let me engage Honorable Abdallah Banda. We still have Dr. Peter Tekpe is our policy analyst still with us. So let me engage Honorable Ben Abdallah Banda Esquire is a constitutional lawyer. Now, lawyer, your medical malpractice, and your medical negligence, obitimi, negligence of duty, biano you pre-operation. Surgery no agya paso atone yam wagyae foreign object bi e de atone yam na nipa na wu anasa creative problem ano yetimi siw nkofo de bia and all that. Now ye hwa de say me doctor but me Ghana ni and ye jebe tax me kasa ofon so ye jebe communication service tax sa communication service tax no ye rekoboa you employment for de be kan bia ye de so edukotua doctor for ka your jebe tax for phobia, you the doctor worker. The doctor's duty is to give value to the society and give me the health care. Eti, young father say, me yare, no ma call hospital, and as me be yare, but not call hospital. Accident tesi, ye call hospital, no. Doctor be so or strike, but you investigate, you know, sa strike no one go through the legal process and say, could be on a labor commission, trust, ne ye sanctions and power or strike. Was so been to a strike, a strike and yet illegal. Na me nipa ne fam wu a betimi asi hospital na a doctor for na at that particular time na senka omo duty no
me dasapa ma minchia atifo nchia wona wonhwe yen minchia Dr. Yu ni minua honorable member of parliament or your chairman on the committee of is it labor.
Yeah.
Now, as a trip for Muwe Jumaye, and I think that we don't get our priorities right. Yeah, Omaya, your way, Mui, Adia, a title boy, your own Samrane pa, they say, oh, your GDP cost of gross domestic products, a good. Yes, your per capita income. Ye chicha ye GDP a de obi a binya e kosoro pa you and yes we exchange rate is very good. Exchange rate is good and no kwano is not enough. Those are ye can development so development theories are ye can development and also e can who be by no kwano enough.
Yeah.
According to one development theorist, and I ought to be a friend Amataya Sen. Also, see a can development and no far who dear to move for no war.
Yeah.
Ubi here education also Timinia. Ubi here healthcare also Timinia. Ubi here freedom to participate in political activities also Timinia. Freedom of conscience also all the freedoms. You can think about I was a criminal also Timinia. On my mono a planning.
Yeah.
One plania untimi muni and on my bia so be tun ponwa minia and your mammy a critical you from any be education. They toss me to see healthcare because education is healthcare in the boomwa and a man in nipa or at all. And our mind also etini enya and kind pro. Nana Dagwa Kufa Dubai. One major policy with all its so-called defects are a boy for a free SHS. Free SHS ama Ghana for Mabunu one at least and then Ghana will be any education crap at least SHS education. Udru also the next step any start with the university and as any other institution be able to probia. Your president to coin, your members of parliament to coin that. Developed countries, Oko developed countries, yeah. Baby bia any party in almost every community bia no or a hospital. A hospital ne bobre etese G anase ne bobre etese e konfanoche. Etinye sa afi na me wo fin so a na se me yare a me ba be soro se me ko G. Anase me opoku ase na me yare a enya afi na me se me ko kolebu because within the community amitimu no hospital all the medical doctors here who be who wo G anase kolebu no won so e was hospital me your friends e wo me community no enti me na me hunu say agenda 111 na ye de ba ye no eye anamo papa enka megiri sa aban ba ye na nka oto aso a menua enka ebe save a lot of lives me tise na oni menua Dr. Ayu eka bibifa sewia ho. What has happened to it? Afari Military Hospital. What has happened to it? Minya me come recebejam 2009. Now me wo health committee so. As a 2009.
Yeah.
Health related projects. Aban free Kwame Nkrumah pencil were abandoned. We shall see on to us. We shall see on to us. Aban we bar or some media men to us. Mian Casaso me pasa me media. It was over 290 abandoned health-related projects.
Wow.
Timijiris and Nasia Kinkaya, a bit to me at Rasa. It's been more central for the idea manual for more central for no. It is your responsibility to ensure say project bia a buying a beba obeye onui a bank from a banner. The constitution mandates the incoming government to ensure that as much as practicable no sa project na so to aso. In any case, sa project no to aso or to aso dia matimamufo. Ena sika na agye na ye minu mienu sika na ogye. Etibinia media no to hono.
But before the enobeto no honorable say what kind of constitution chapter 6 it talks about the directive principles of the state policy as far as practicable that you rightly said no say aban bi ba no bibia abafo for no otimi etoaso and all that ade it is enshrined but yenye ade ne betimi ayama ade na kwakwaye force I say it will compel the politicians to do that because their politics sometimes deprive some of us even say Afari hospital ne say one hospital up to now yentime nyeye. What else can we do by law? Ebetimi ama say president bi ba na aban for you don't have to start any other project until you finish the existing one.
There was your money and share. Your money and share maybe by an act of parliament. And people hire na constitution ne bubobu boso. And it's a constitutional boss on us as a nation. Ye percent ye decide in year juma would penal consequences are. Penal consequences are. The law mandates the parliament to, as it were, operationalize or parliament for operationalizing. So through an act of parliament. There's a way are buying. There's a uber. There's a predecessor. Eshe bibiase nese we ntibe ewia e wo se eye enhyede ma wo se project na o predecessor adwin no wabe e wo se otoaso so wa ntoaso a e ho consequences ni a wo ba no ubetima eden ubetima asofa ase eya koye se ye ya ama immunities immunities, hovering, high-ranking, highly placed personalities within the society. No, until we take the bull by the horn. Masa, asama yekin every day yebeka so yenya a resolution that.
Okay.
So we shall labor act in more. The labor acts. Oh, the many are not time behind Emrano, but the time behind I was a who can't embrace them because I told her you must use your friend human touch, and then you must also use an appeal to be appealing to people. Where social labor act, strictly speaking, and within the context of the law, no, essential workers are not supposed to go on strike.
Yeah.
Essential workers are not supposed to go on strike. Oshe security officers, Oshe ECJ Jumayafo, Oshe water and sewage Jumayafo, Oshe your friends, other essential workers, they are not supposed to go on strike because a border on life safety and the property of Tumem4. Sebi say you can send the ECG focus strike here. We need the ECA. You can send now police focus strike and I say armed forces for a cost strike here. The ECA no enye until within the contemplation of the law no. I say they are not supposed to go on strike. But ye Musa ya say I didn't see a see confirmed sad. And under those circumstances, the was a minister here. In any case, you didn't see you on the NDC. And our Minister for Health, Honorable Akandoh, also see NDC. Adentina, mon frefrem, honamon tenase.
Yeah.
Now, mon resolve the issue. Now, at least, muntimi and smoke the peace by.
Yeah.
Okay. It was a minimum de who was a and then was a woman. And Minister could have called him. Minister Froyatisa, as saying, I what can. As somehow can. Na nentiase anything na sechere anything na ono so ato no boase a kirikirem na nka omatimi a resolve instead say on air the tia ne say a letter akoma see you and say is it the board say you suspended the CEO for a period of 2 weeks or indefinite suspension. I think say to me, the minister went too far. Okay, to me, the minister went too far. In any case, the good news is that you're not so much matters of worry.
Yeah.
But if you want to take the law black and white as it is here, there are some processes here. Every abide worker so a person or cost strike here, he or she or they must resort to first. One, also umutimi is assembly. A CSC no, and no, and remedy a friend negotiation. Also umutimi negotiation. Also umutimi negotiating between the employee and their employer. And no, and also umutimi mediate and friend mediation. Mediation no, and finally, there was arbitration, a bump. Now umutimi a resolve. Na asem etimide na samoko. And then I think say going forward so far as essential workers are concerned and any other worker is concerned, say BBC is here strike. The strike is not unlawful. Going on strike is not unlawful, but the processes are not. So many men follow processes and not unlawful.
All right.
Otherwise, every worker has the constitutional right to go on strike if it is within the context of the law.
Thank you very much. Honorable, you take your last bite, so be with me. We still have, that was Honorable Ben Abdullah Banda, Esquire, is a constitutional lawyer. Thank you very much, Honorable Jasmami. Let me engage Dr. Peter Takwe, is our policy analyst. So, Doc, Yabeka is a tamana COVID in the bio, and another Dan Kwaku had to go to Parliament to get to have a power. Ghana enacted a law, imposition of restriction law to lock this country. Okay, tell me or lock this country, oyi essential workers bi efifiri mu ne ade adwumafo bi oso mo essential omo adwuma no hia ebi de security agencies any ade na fence health workers enso ka ho bi o kan ye Ghana ye labor law na the labor law section 175 no forbid the security agencies to go on strike to say they na honorable Banda eka ho asem no. Now if you say health workers obaduma are essential, as some countries like South Korea, Zimbabwe and some part of Africa almost ashemra kete say health workers cannot go on strike no. Say they said they are not honorable Boate eka say the law no they just to do they want to do the reforms na say it will forbid to forbid health workers to go on strike. Do you think say Ghana baby I do know it's a time that we need that law and I say yeah me a whole break akra to forbid a law that will forbid health workers to go on strike.
Okay, nani Nico panelists almost kasani bina. Well, the issue now ye wo on my especially Ghana no. Akwa say yatra situation na yebeka say ye dimra eba preventing certain sections of Jumaifo so mo be cause strike. Apart from security agencies are ye nim no. All other institutions that we call them essential workers like the medical profession, they've all been going on strike. Let's just say sembra wo home running ni ho strike na bedani the bargaining power rather than a preventive measure for certain key Jumaifo.
Yeah.
Whether there is mra or there is no mra, so almost on because strike here. Doctors equal ya and camera quite say omudi fast because na sa no mo fast but omudi say omudima no mo ye no omudi omo no omo back together no mo see a cost writer quickly abandon them problem for them and that is what has exactly happened.
Yeah,
what would rather curtail the problem is you better how the politicization of these essential institutions you know ever detach ni ho efrem. Because the moment you work turning these institutions into political institutions, you know, and then the Bema or more movements who want to say, says, yeah, you fighting my home. Because the essential workers, no, Omujumani there. The Omujumani is so important, said. I want to make a say, yet, Tanaho, yen, share, and Manyaman cost. She nipa amoye nipa hojuma. A better then now be a say nipa no be woo and family whom be seeing you to my mission. Let's just according to Pesubia. We who say a CCB, we who say unfairness be, we who say Yama be Koswa. I say, Omono, Yeja, Mosi chain. And Yona, and another doctors and Katakan say, Omujuma no Moyano. There is no way also who cause strike. Say no matter what, because as on graduating, Obia or the doctor's charter or whatever they call it, signing. Signing to. It's doctor there, and I have workers there. Yes, I am so Mujuman are very critical. Who share the CEO or confirm not to say, and yes, CEO no me fault. And another circumstance, no. Our chief said they are even helping the situation. She said, bed I am ma. Not the be who I beg amount for pressure, infrastructure, and so. Public safety, the probability of outbreak of disease. So, people to make a my yard or one say, "Oh, you're crowded." It can even create situation. It can even create serious problems. So, there's a whole lot. In TCSO, we are giving an announcement. Say, we cannot take people anymore because of ABCD. I'm not for them. Say, "Oh, me yard we me the court of not." I'm say, "Don't to me give you." Now say, and not say. Obia sorry say, I am sanctioning the CEO. What is the really? This is an institution that is working within a certain framework. Institution CEO, no, yes, I said that. And I say, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. But Onusu say, Nipa no mbeba Onusu no, the care for them is important. It is a whole man doctors who if you be no emergency be back, no intuition now, and also that Nani asem. So sometimes I was say, yeah, analyzing Yamana and share, say, I do we are air cost we the deliberate way and answer and yes, sir, because we share. CEO was appointed by the president. Into obey then our year debate or the deliberate air tarnish the image of the president and the government now. Yeah, appointing on yes, sir. We make say a genuine concern almost raising in terms of notifying the public. Say, according to say, emergency, that's what I say. There may be an outbreak of ERB even in a particular ward. I better say because of that, in TAG, among 2 sound would be alternative arrangement. These things can happen in a such environment. If it's say they should continue receiving people, they receive them in what capacity? And one can even create so much problem. Instead, I was saying 2 years ago in this taking decisions, we will not see these institutions as a political institution. But that is what we have turned them into. And now, because whether there is MRA or there is no MRA, the almost on because we are succeeding very well in turning these essential institutions into a political institution. Because of that, until I might be saying.
But dog, you showed you. Kofor Kase was say person renovate the reason why or yes I say any or to me because say normal or no any nyai because person or to na enkon koyete say kolebudie na omo report ya no e kofa issue de ba na afei ye suspending kofor ne ade no but say utumu because of say facilities say ho nye papa any to utum ana say o renovate o the tumi biana don't you think say esenka at least you under somebody nesenka or bia or the minister no dwene ho kakransa because I think say bia ko minister no dwene ho a sa suspension would have come.
Well, in fact, I'll be surprised say if you take that decision without informing the minister and then the boss. Say minister ni any boss. Into say a woman say that decision I want taking without recourse to the minister, and they're not a serious issue because as a CEO, you can't take such a decision without recourse to your boss. Yeah. It doesn't happen anywhere. And so if it is the case that this is what he did, then it calls for, then I would say, then the sanction is in order. If it's the case, we're taking that decision without informing the sector minister, then the sanction is in order because you can't do this. Because it's a major issue concerns human life. Indeed, if you want to do renovation and answer BBC and answer Sana, then me imagine me can say, this is the take here aprana a buy and I'm not taking that decision. But if it is the case, the decision was taken without consulting the health minister, then this sanction is in proper order. Say what is that decision? Because it is wholly uncalled for him to take that decision without consulting the minister. Then what is the reason for he being there and reporting to a superior?
Yeah,
it doesn't work out at all. Then it means that they have to check. Maybe if that is the case, then he has to undergo training for leadership. He has to undergo leadership training because similar mistakes will occur in the coming days because he will be taking decisions that will not inform the supervisory authority, which is not good.
Thank you very much. Dr. Peter Takwe is a policy analyst, and I'm we still have Honorable Joseph Apia Boating, is a chairman Parliamentary Select Committee on Labour, Employment and Pension with us. Honorable, let me give you 4 minutes to wrap up for me. Now, what else can you say? Miesha Sadi will say, it looks like say Ubie the minister no wasem, say minister no erashe minister no pentam and normal temdo. I think the minister is also a human being. Ebia or no so there could have been something to be or take that decision. I say, don't you think that's a crucified minister? No, say you
me da se me kakra me ka se me buy me betie no that the chair say CEO no am say you saw on one discretion and or yes say ebia o close facilities no but adwuma de ye na ye adwuma bom nti ɛsɛ term ya no ɛsɛ yɛ accord obia with respect sɛ wobɔ minister mane a nka wei na no nka ne sɛ nka ɛntimi nsi ɔno ebia minister nso no ɔyɛ a bit emotional sɛ ebia nipa nkwa na ebia ɔde nkwa no edi agorɔ anaasɛ ɔma n'aban anaa ne ministry no ayɛ sɛ ɔmo yɛ incompetent anaasɛ ɔmo ntumi nyɛ adwuma no nti ɔno nso sɛ yɛka no nipa ho asɛm ɔno nso ɛne sɛ ɔno nso anamɔ a ɔfɔ so otu a bɛboa ɛyɛ patience no ɛna ebia otu at the time no ba ne nyinaa akyi no mmɛka sɛ yɛ labour laws no sɛ yɛ anhwɛ ne asesɛm a ɔhene ɛmfa yɛ nkɔ baabi a wɔ Ghana ha because ɛna meka sɛ yɛfo sɛ weapon a obiara wɔ no sɛ strike na ɔbɛyɛ mbaake na aban atie no asɛm ɛno nti biribi ketewa bi a obi kwa sɛ bi a oni chalk ɛno chalk teacher ni ni chalk nti no ɔkɔ strike ni na no ɛmmoa yɛn ɛna wei no meka no menka sɛ just NDC ɛna menka sɛ just NPP both successive governments ni na no mo abako ni na no obi eni hɔ a ɔto no bo ɛhwɛ yɛ labor laws no ɛyɛ emra ɛda hɔ a ɛhia nsakra bebree nti ɛsɛ sɛ yɛhwɛ na yɛsesam
But yeah, can I say system no? Yeah, be law to forbid health workers to go on strike no. Yeah, Charlie. Emma, yes, I don't know. So Emma are buying, and I say if a government no, bully the health workers no because the things they will be quite no market yanya adebia so omunya eko baby say mortuary bikra death omo de be ye aduma at a point omo ye call strike omo say gloves omo ni bi death omo de be ye funu aduma omo ni bi ensu so omo ye ni na they didn't have anything plus their salary as of 3-4 years ago now obi wo mortuary no 600 Ghana cedis penyini pa no no big 300 Ghana cedis eba say na ye ka so obo mo call strike so wouldn't that the government and the politicians take advantage of that now or more fine and suppress them?
There be a man, sir. Anything like I say, in entire country, a national discuss. Near and say, won't me embark on strike. I have Ghana penna labor laws no year juma. Sorry, so structures juma.
Yeah.
Oh, number Australia. Now, Mr. D, nursing Australia. Say, we AI na. That's a assistant in nursing. Unim ni budget annually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, year na which is enroll nurse. That's diploma. Unim ni budget annually. And now we RN registered nurse. Unim ni budget annually. And she said, I don't know where overtime can one any different. But our salary structure and the unim. And she said, Doctor ni unim said when you dear. Unim said the same. Yayema yes contribution na edema senate no eno kwa abeketwa nipa efre adwuma mpepa na okọ retirement na ne life yaye basa
yeah
ase ne sen ye beja ketua no na allowance se wo hu bebre allowance ni na se ntua senate free mu
yeah
the main aketua na oje no eno pa ne yeti senate free mu nti oba enjoy so nyema bebre prestigious life nti o free ho na okọ trafie pa na awontre aba.
Okay.
Nti say ye labor reforms we na e be make sure say sanema we na no allowances no aketua mo be kese
bad
na allowances mo be ketua. Okay. So that people contribution no and also abe kese ma ne dachi.
Okay.
Wow, and utimi say net ni e de ni uniform e na mabugosi market na o de aba ya pe na o de forward a cross infection.
Yeah.
O just say ni nyina no as I say labor law you making it tight na enyematimi etuto yie otherwise no yen
all right
ye ko adwuma was Australia obi a won drawer wo ko a wo do atare asem wo ko adwuma ma akofo atare asem there be ye dey na mabugo si market.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable. I'm for the last 2 minutes in Fama, Honorable Banda, now on fire point. So, Honorable, what else can you tell us that you're from Twapo?
Oh, can't say I was here, they but now propose say you bet me a forbid this strike by health professionals. I don't know whether it is feasible or it's not feasible because say back on strike here. Let's say a bind what will be the consequence? And no, the consequence will be very disastrous. You know, what I believe in this you ever solve a problem, no? Because congestion and the pressure your health facilities no swallow a dozen. Day in, day out, population a grow, and it's a population a grow there. Your health facilities must also be in line with the growth of our population.
Yeah.
And yes, Asamia and Nayakin, Dibia Ebeka. 2, I also think that to say that me Agenda 111 is very, 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 very important. Agenda 111 is very, very, very important because investment ya komu and yet investment kuma be about 50% complete.
Yeah.
Be about 70% complete.
Yeah.
Be crampo about 100% complete. I didn't try to make a crack canon. Yem fankuro. Na yen operationalize the ya complete no. Na the yen complete and so no. Yen kopisika. Na yen complete. Na yen easy the pressure and the conjunction on Konfanochi, Kolegu, Ridge, and so on and so forth. Na ematimem force ya huntoye. In the media, me who say a responsibility I mean me was here sorry yejina because agenda 111 project na a minu me to my votica and the shasi. And it's a banya bar. Let's say if he cares for the people, it was hot wasso. Now, utterly complete. Let's man waiting as you.
I thank you very much.